Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We're going to start in a seated position this morning. So just grab anything you need. Maybe something for a yoga strap, or a blanket, or water, and just gonna go to the position, take your time. And just meet you on the mat. Keep this centered. There we go. It's okay. So we can get my whole body in, and it should work. And just gonna do a seated position. Still. So again, just come down, ground down to those sit bones. Take a big breath into the belly, and then exhale. Just fill that foundation through that sit bones. Just ground down into the mat. And the next inhalation, start the Ujjayi breathing. So inhale, close your eyes, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. Breathe all the way to the top of the head. And then exhale. Draw that navel in after we empty our chest. And start another round. Inhaling, expand that rib cage. Expand the chest and the lungs. Breathe all the way to the crown of the head, and then exhale from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. You can bring a hand to the belly, hand to the chest. If you'd like to feel that wave of breath. Just nice, long, deep Ujjayi breaths. Expanding that rib cage. Expanding that lungs. Those lungs. And the exhalation, drawing that navel in towards the spine. We're emptying that lungs, the chest all the way, emptying the belly. And just a few more breaths here. It's really challenging your belly and your chest one last time to really just fill with air. Expanding just a tiny bit more. And the exhalation, just letting go. Feeling that sit bone attach to the mat, maybe silver cords coming down through your spine, through your sit bone, down into the mat, into the floor, to the earth. Just making you feel centered and grounded. Breaths bringing you into the moment. On the next inhalation, gently open your eyes. We can blink a few times. And then we're going to inhale, keep your hands on our knees, and exhale, bring that right ear down to that right shoulder. Reach out through those left fingertips. You can always bring this hand to the left side of the face, but you can just keep it on the knee. Just being really gentle with the neck. One more breath here. And release. Inhale, and then exhale, coming to the other side. Left ear comes onto the left shoulder. Reach to those right fingertips. You can add that left hand to the right side of the face and guide that ear. As an option, just softly bring that hand to the knee. Just taking your awareness to that stretch through the shoulder, through the neck. And release. And from here, we're going to start to connect our breath with our movements. So we're going to inhale, reach up, bring the palms together, exhale. Hands down to heart center. Inhale. Waking up the arms. Look at those fingers. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And just reaching up this time. Open those palms to front. Come to a V and then pull those elbows down. Exhale. Inhale. Up. Exhale. One more time. Feeling that opening in the front of the shoulders. And inhale. And softly bring those hands to the back of the head. We're going to drag that chin in towards the chest. Just lengthen the back of the neck. Just guiding the chin. So a really gentle stretch at the top of the shoulders, the neck. And gently release, bring those hands to the knees. Into a neutral position, you can close your eyes and we'll just take a few neck rolls. So just drawing those circles in the air. You can take the nose in a clockward direction, slowly, mindfully, just watching every muscle as it stretches, lengthens, and softens. Keeping a nice long spine. We're lifting through the sternum. Change directions. And then going clockwise just a few more times. Just mindful of the neck, getting your awareness to every muscle that lengthens. And then change directions one more time. Just a few more neck rolls. Just letting that neck soften and lengthen. And come back slowly to a neutral position. Inhale, lengthen, lift through the sternum. Exhale, you can come forward and bring those hands down in front. And just walk them forward. We're lengthening through the back of the neck. Nose comes down to the floor. And feeling those hips. Let those hips feel heavy. Soften, breathe into the hips. Maybe crawl those fingers a little bit further forward. Still lengthening to the back of the neck. And then walk those hands over to the right, reach those left fingertips, pulling back with that mind's eye, with that left hip. And walk back to center just for a breath. And walking over to the left, reach those right fingertips. We're pulling back through that right hip. Feel heavy. You want to feel heavy in that right hip. Breathe into any tight areas. Soften on the exhalation. Keeping those nice, deep, even breaths into the belly. And then soften through the face. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw or your cheeks. And let your tongue be loose in your mouth. And walk back to center. One breath here. Maybe spider crawl those fingers just a little bit further. And then walk back in. Lift through the sternum. Nice long spine. And we're going to inhale up, reach. Exhale, bring that right hand down and then reach up and over from that left hip. Let those hips flow apart, or ribs float apart, and if you can come down all the way to your elbow, just hang out here. Just want that opening, creating space on that left side of the torso, the hip, shoulder. And release, inhale up, come down to the other side. Reaching up and over, heavy through that right hip. One long breath here into the belly. And then inhale up, reaching up, drop that right hand, lift through that right elbow, lengthen hip all the way up to the elbow. And release, shake out the arms, bring that right arm across the body, give it a massage, and then just pull it in towards you. That left arm is a hook. Feel that stretch through the front of the shoulder and then around through the back. And release, shake out the arms. Inhale up, drop that left hand. Lift up through that left elbow, lengthen, lift to the sternum, to the crown of the head, and heavy, hips are heavy, legs are heavy. And release, shake out the arms, bring out that left arm across the body. Just bring that right arm to a hook, pulling that in towards the chest. Breathe into the belly. Continue with those nice long, deep, even breaths. And release. Shake out the arms. Inhale up. Come down to the right. Reach and then open up. Open the heart, thumb towards the back of the room. That gaze up towards the ceiling. And then we'll release. Bring that hand down. Slide that right hand behind. Taking a gentle twist. So lifting up through the sternum, to the crown of the head, and taking that gaze towards the back of the room. Just letting these hands sort of guide you. We're lifting through the spine, lengthening. The exhalation, drawing that navel in, taking that gaze further towards the back of the room. And release, and softly unwind. Inhale up. Come down to that left side and spin open. Open that heart to the ceiling. Thumb toward the back of the room. Thumb towards the back of the room. And release down. Slide that left hand back. We're going to lift the sternum and take that gaze towards the back of the room. Lengthen that spine. Exhale. That nose comes just a little further towards the back of the room. And gently release. Softly bring those hands to the knees. Just take a few breaths here. And then we'll slowly come to a tabletop position. Take your time, knees under the hip points. You can put something down for a cushion if you like. Spread out those fingers. Press into the tops of the feet. Just feeling that length in the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And then from here, inhale, drop the belly. Pull those shoulders back. Gaze forward. Cow pose. And exhale around the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone. Bring that chin in towards the chest into cat. Inhale back to cow. Press that belly down towards the mat. Open the chest, shoulders, blades like pull towards each other. Gaze forward and up. And exhale, rounding to cat. Just exaggerating all those movements. Warming up the spine. And on your own pace with your own breath, take a few more rounds of that cat and cow. Just inhaling to the cow. And then exhaling to cat. And come back to a neutral position. Exhale, take that gaze over that left shoulder. Feel those ribs float apart on the right side of the body. Back to center, and then over the right shoulder. Left side just floats apart. And back to center. And from here, we're going to press back to that right heel. And just soften through that calf muscle. Kind of come back and forth if you like. Now we'll take that awareness to that inner right thigh. Make sure this left hip is over this left knee. And then we're going to lift, press that heel, level off those hips. And then stay here at this left arm. It's really challenging all the muscles in the core and the back. Let that breath carry you through nice, long, easy breaths into the belly. Just one more breath. And release. Inhale, press that belly down. One cow. Exhale to cat. And back to a neutral position. Press to that left heel. Soften. And then take that awareness to the inner left thigh. Lift. Level off the hips. And then reach that right arm. Nice, deep, even breath. Strong through that core, strong through the legs and the arm. And release. Bring those knees wide, toes together, and we'll just ease those hips back. Reach forward, bring that forehead down to the mat, and just let everything release into the mat for a breath or two. Everything go. Nice, deep, even breaths into the belly. On the exhalation, just letting everything release into the mat. If it feels good, you can kind of roll that forehead from side to side. And just one more breath here. And then gently come back up. You can keep those knees wide. And then we're going to inhale up through that right elbow. Extend all the way. And thread the needle, bring that right shoulder down. We're going to reach forward with that left arm and let that shoulder just melt and soften into the mat. Breathe into the belly. On the exhalation, just release. One more breath here. Just letting that shoulder melt one more time into the mat. And bend that left arm. We're going to press up. Press down to that left hand. And we're going to reach up through that elbow and extend the arm all the way. And then thread the needle. Bring that left shoulder down. Reaching forward with that right arm. And just soften that left shoulder. Let that melt. Deep breaths into the belly. And bend that right arm. We're going to press up. Bring those knees together, hip width apart. And I'm going to bring the hip points over the knees and then walk those hands forward for puppy pose. Those hips up, press through the palms. That forehead can come down to the mat and feel that stretch through the shoulders. Up on the fingertips for a deeper stretch. Or just press through the palms. Breathe into the belly. And gently release. We'll just softly come to our belly. So straighten out the legs. Bring those palms underneath the shoulders. Bring that chin down to the mat. And then we're going to engage everything, the front of the legs. Press the feet into the mat, the palms. Engaging to the backs of the legs, the hips. And on the inhalation, just peeling up that chest off the mat, if that feels okay in your low back. And on the next inhalation, maybe coming a little further up, but only if it feels good in your low back. Every inhalation, we're engaging every part of our body and then trying to lift to that sternum. So we're engaging those muscles in the back and strengthening. One more breath. And release, slide those hands together. Right cheek on top of the hands, back of the hands. Bend those knees and just window wash those legs. Shake out the back, massage the front of the legs. And drop those legs. I'm going to reach forward to the arms. And the first Sphinx pose. Sphinx. We're just going to bring those elbows in towards the body. A gentle option. Or working those elbows to underneath the shoulders. Pressing through those forearms. Engaging, tightening everything to the legs. Gazing forward. Or you can take that gaze towards the floor. Everything engaged, should be no pain in the low back. Just come down if you feel any pinching or discomfort. One more breath here. Strong through the arms, opening the chest. And release, slide those hands together. Left cheek comes on top of the hands. Bend those knees and go ahead. Just window wash those legs again. And go ahead and reach around with that left hand. If you can reach the foot, pressing that foot into the hand, lengthening through that the front of that left leg, or you can even grab here on the ankle. And just feel that lengthening into the floor, just for a breath. Still taking those nice, deep, even breaths, and release. And reach around and grab the other foot or the ankle. And pressing into the mat. And release. Legs straight. Bring those palms underneath the shoulders, and we're pressing up. And tuck the toes. And spread out the fingers and hips. Come back for downward facing dog. Start to walk the dog. Alternate those heels on the mat. Soften through the backs of the legs. Drawing that navel in towards the spine. Spread out those fingers. Strong to the arms. And then pressing through those heels into the mat or above the mat. Notice your breathing. Soften through the face. And then we'll walk those feet up to the hands. Feet are hip width apart. Press the four corners of the feet are strong through the legs. They're bent or maybe almost straight or a little micro bend. Forward fold, let that head hang. Let blood flow to the heart. Grab opposite elbows. And just sway from side to side. A ragdoll. You can shake the head, no, nod the head, yes. Soften the neck. And drop the hands. Maybe you're on the fingertips, or you can even bend the knees, bring the palms down. So a nice forward fold here, nose coming in towards the knees. You want to feel that length to the back of the legs, and the legs don't have to be straight in order to feel that opening and that softening through the backs of the legs. Inhale, take a half lift, just gaze forward, pull up through that navel. And then we're going to exhale, bring those hands down, bend the knees, step back with that left foot. And we're coming to a lunge. Just through that lunge, strong lift up through that back hamstring. And then drop that knee. Could keep that those toes curled, or just press into the top of the foot. And then from here, you can bring those hands to either side of the foot. And then we're going to inhale, sweep up. Lift through the hands. And then release, bring those hands to the top of the knee. Those hips kind of fall forward. That knee over the ankle, or you can always kind of scooch this foot forward if you want a deeper stretch here. Pull back to that right hip crease. Lengthen, soften through the front of the left hip. And nice, deep, even breaths. And bring the hands to the hips. And I'm just gonna kind of straighten that front leg and just kind of slide, make those adjustments to come into runner stretch. So I move this left hip over this left knee. Just gonna make micro adjustments to kind of get to this form. And then once we're here, inhale, lengthen, exhale. Just going to pull that chest forward. Bring those fingers down or hands. A nice long spine. Those blocks to help keep that length. Nose comes down, toes up towards your face, towards the ceiling. Soften through the back of that right knee. Or engage this leg. So this kneecap too, so engaging this quad. Press into the top of this left foot and breathe. And release. We're going to softly come forward. And then we're going to bring this left foot kind of at an angle. So we can kind of press into that. We're going to come up and come to a half warrior two. So we're reaching through the hands. Deep, kind of a deep bend. And that strength in that front leg, pressing into the back of that left foot. Reach through the arms. Gaze, tracking over that middle finger of the right hand. And softly release. We're going to straighten this right leg. Take that outside of the edge of the foot, with the parallel with the outside edge of the mat. Then take this foot straight back. And then we're going to engage that core and come down on this hand and take a nice long side plank. We're pressing through the outside of that right foot, reaching into those fingertips, and then gaze forward, or you can take that gaze up towards the ceiling. And release, bring that hand to that hip. We're gonna really engage that core and lift. Then lift up through that left arm. We're taking the gate pose. Slide that right hand down that right leg and then just reach up and over. So from that knee up to the fingertips and then over. Those ribs float apart as you're breathing. Maintaining that nice deep breath. And release. And from here, we're going to bend that right knee and just come forward into a lunge. Go ahead and tuck the right toes. And we're going to lift through that hamstring. Bring this left foot to meet the right foot. And go ahead and just step back with that right foot, taking a lunge, low lunge on the other side. Strong through the legs, and then let that knee come down, and you can press through the toes or into the top of the foot. And then from here, we're going to engage, pull that navel in, and then lift. Going back through that left hip crease. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then release, bring those hands to the top of that left knee. Breathe, soften through the face. And then bring those hands to the hips. We're going to adjust to come into a runner stretch. So pressing into the top of that right foot. Straighten this left leg. Right knee, right hip is over that right knee. From here, kind of bringing that chest forward. Use something like blocks, or just bring those fingertips down, or maybe your palms come all the way down. Bring that nose towards the nose towards the shin, toes up towards the face. A nice long spine. Doesn't have to be perfectly stick straight. Just want to avoid too much of a hunching of the shoulders. Want to feel that opening of the chest as you pull it forward. One more breath. And then release. And bring those hips forward. From here, bring that leg at an angle. Lift, and then we're coming into that half warrior two. So tracking this knee over this foot, and this can be like more towards the back or more towards the side, wherever gives you the stability to come into that warrior two, whatever's comfortable on the knee. And we're reaching those arms active. Gaze over that middle finger. Straight. Press into the top of that right foot. And strong through that left leg. go ahead and bring this leg straight out. We're going to come into that plank, side plank, so we're pressing into the outside of that left foot. Pressing into the top of that right foot. And then gaze forward, or you can take that gaze up towards the ceiling. Deep, even breaths. And bring this left hand to the hip. We're going to engage that core and lift. And then reach up to that right arm, down to that left hand, and take gate pose. Letting those ribs on the right side just float apart. We're pulling that navel in. And then breathing. Press into the outside of that left foot. Engaging, sucking up that kneecap. Pressing into the top of that right foot. And release. Bring those knees together. We're going to take a quick camel pose, so just pressing those thumbs into the back in that little spot above the hips. Press into the tops of the feet. Bring those elbows back, and you can open up that chest a little bit if it feels okay in your low back. Maybe that gaze up. So really engaging everything through the back of your body. And release. You can come to a seated position. You can sit on something for Dandasana. So just bring those legs out straight in front of you. If you want something to use as a yoga strap, use anything you have around, towel, t-shirt. Press those legs. Hands down by your sides, press those palms. You're really working hard, pulling those kneecaps up. Strong for those arms. We've got a cameo by a cat. That's Yoda. And then we're going to inhale up. And hinge at the hips. Grab those shins and just slide down. Grab the shins, the ankles, the feet. And just pull that nose down. Maybe a little go outside. And just take those breaths nice and deep. See if you can deepen that stretch. Draw that navel in. Maybe that nose comes a little closer to the shins. I'm just going to hold it a little longer today, just allow you to kind of release a little bit more into that pose, into that stretch. And release. And come up and bring the soles of those feet together for Baddha Konasana. So wrapping those hands around the feet, pressing those knees away from the body, lift to the sternum, and then bring the nose down towards the floor in front of you. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And breathe. Just a few more deep, even breaths here. Press those knees towards the mat. Draw that navel in, bring that nose a tiny bit closer to the floor. And release, straighten that right leg. Bring this left foot in, and then we'll turn towards that leg. Slide those hands down. Grab your shin, your ankle, your foot. And then nose comes towards the shin. Press that left knee down towards the mat. And then start to become aware of your breath, just watching the breath. Sucking that kneecap up into the thigh. Press through the heel. Breathe into any tight areas. One more breath. And release. Gently come up. We'll just switch sides. Straighten that left leg. Turn towards that leg. Pressing down through that right knee. And then slide those hands down. Grab the shins, ankles, the foot. Suck up that kneecap. Press the heel. Draw that navel in. And breathe. And release. And straighten that right leg. You can press those hips forward. Bring those hands down in front and just walk them forward. Strong through those legs. Nose down towards the floor. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And release. Walk those hands back in. We're going to bring those legs together. Go ahead and grab the backs of the hamstrings. We're going to roll to our backs and just roll a couple times front and back and massaging the back. And once we're kind of from side to side, and bring those knees in a circular motion if that feels good. Opposite direction. Let those knees down and up. Release the feet down, reach up through that right leg. Press with that heel and then bring that to the knee. Press that right knee away from the body. And you can stay here, grab the back of that left hamstring. And then keep that left foot flexed so both feet are flexed. We're pressing that right knee away, breathing into that hip. And gently release. Bring that right foot down. We're going to reach up through that left leg, press through that heel, and then bring that to the knee. We're going to press that left knee away. Stay here, grab the back of that right hamstring, and then flex both feet. Press that left knee away from the body. Breathe into that left hip. Softening on the exhalation. Soften your gaze towards the ceiling. And release. Bring those knees in and drop them to the right side of the body. Take those arms out to a T. And we'll just gaze up towards the ceiling or over towards the left. Release into that stretch. Into that twist. Just let everything release into the mat. And gently bring those knees back up. Pull them down and up towards the chin. And then take those arms to a T. Drop those knees to the other side of the body. And take its final twist on the other side. Just kind of making any adjustments you need to. Straightening that top leg, gaze opposite. Just whatever the way you like to take it, whatever allows you to kind of release into that stretch. Nice, deep, even breaths. And go ahead and bring those knees back to center. I'm going to straighten those legs and just come into Shavasana. So open up those palms to the ceiling. If you want to put a blanket over you or need to put a layer on, go ahead. And then we will gaze up to the ceiling. Deep breath into the belly. Exhale. Gently close the eyes and just sink down into the mat. Another deep breath into the belly. On the exhalation, just feeling your body melting, sinking just down into the mat, releasing. And start to follow the breath. Breathe in relaxation into the belly. On the exhalation, just releasing everything into the mat. All the muscles soften and widen, surrender into the pose. Start to soften through the face. The muscles around the eyes release. The cheek and the jaw soften. Tongue is loose in the mouth. On the next exhalation, let the shoulders melt and soften and release. And down the arms, biceps, triceps, forearms, palms, fingers. Widen and soften, relax. And feel the muscles in the back release and melt. The lower back and the hips melt and soften and widen. The hamstrings release. The quads feel heavy. Calf muscles soften. Ankles, the feet, the toes, all release and widen and relax. Every muscle in your body just softens and melts down into the mat. Just continue to follow the breath. Breathe in relaxation. On the exhalation, just release and soften into the mat. Just a little bit more with every breath. And slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And rock your head from side to side. And bend your knees. Gently roll to the right side of your body. And then slowly press yourself up to a seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. On the next inhalation, gently open your eyes and blink a few times. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining me this morning. And happy March. I just realized it is February is a short month and it's already the first day of March, which is crazy. But yeah, so happy March. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope that I see you on Wednesday morning, and then always let me know if you have any requests for Wednesday. Just send me a message. So have a great day. Enjoy the weather.